fairly stale lane, especially now that Nautilus has less damage on his Riptide, so it would just be a farming lane, and ultimately the Rammus would... It kind of depends on who gets the initiation in the team fights if you get the home guard in, so they don't opt for the farm lane here for the end of the split over in Rotterdam. But if they can lock this down, this would be a big boost, locking first place. The ping went down onto Vizicsacsi. It looks like they were actually looking for the gank. This is better timing for Loulex here. Spear lands though.
Going straight in! The taunt pulled Chachi back into the javelin toss. Trick hops in Cougar form. There are teleports available, remember, and the first one is being channeled. Loulex is in trouble, he's going low. Chachi drops a hammer down and picks up first blood.
That was a rough trade from Trick. He looked like he swiped earlier than he was anticipating. Actually just missed the damage, I believe. Trick then jumps in and looks to follow up for the kill. Win may not be done bottom lane here. Look at Chachi. He's calling Loulex back down to the bottom lane.
Oh, Kikis gets pinned against the wall. I'm not sure you wanted to be there. Powerball is not going to be enough to save your life. And Loulex gets 2 kills.
So initially on that trade, you would think, why didn't Poppy block Nidalee from jumping in? Well, the taunt was the difference maker. Couldn't activate the W for that steadfast presence. Top lane is a trade.
Oh, hold that thought. Now Hybrid, he chomps down onto Steeelback. Exhaust comes down from Hilly. Trick's got the passive movement speed. Javelin toss not needed just yet. Howling Gale will slow down Hybrid. There's a teleport from Chachi. This is now a 4-on-3. Hybrid dashes forward, flashes away. The verdict is not issued.
Just kidding.
Oh, I was waiting for that.
Rift them, yeah.
Rift Scuttler Rammus. Emperor with a very early flash is threat from Loulex. Pinkward will spot him out. Teleport comes down for Kikis. Early cancel on the culling. Kikis has flash available. Loulex boots Hybrid and Trick backwards with the Dragon's Rage. Subjugate comes down. Loulex below 110 hit points. Continues to run for his life. Trick is looking for the pounce. Flash! Auto! Picks up the kill.
Oh, it was just a matter of time. There are a couple of flashes used though. Now mid lane tower did fall, and with 1 kill in exchange for the tower.
Plus the teleport from Kikis, plus the flash from Trick, Hybrid, and Emperor. So net gain in terms of resources, heavily in favor of Unicorns.
Now be looking at getting the win against G2 potentially. Here comes the Sivir ult. Now they want to engage. Here comes Chachi.
Chachi's teleported. Fox is joining as well. That's the double TPs. Perkz is already down. He didn't even get to flash or cleanse. It's a double kill for Unicorns of Love as they drop Trick immediately thereafter. The pressure's not done as they're onto the inner turret.
Yeah, they're looking for a second turret from this. You can see unicorns, cheerleaders, everything in the audience being thrown. The energy is being given over, and the unicorns seem to be feeding off it.
Kikis has taunted up Hylissang. Defensive flash into Monsoon just to survive.
Though it is the regular Azir.
Sun disc, yep. Not the undead disc that we saw so much yesterday.
I love that,
fortunately.
By the way.
As do I. G2, I think, a lot of credit. Flash and cleanse this time for Perkz. He makes it out alive. Empress Divide will be up in just a few seconds, so both teams have options available. And what are you expecting to break open this somewhat of a laning phase? I mean, a flash engage, so Emperor's down.
He's gone.
Let's pretend that didn't happen.
I mean,
what are the teams looking for? Yeah, because Chachi and UOL seem to be pretty invested in this 1-3-1 almost.
Loulex will steal back onto a single member. They should be okay. Problem is, here comes the answer from G2. Trick on the top side. Chachi's easy to dodge the spear though.
Yep, sidesteps the javelin toss. Trick actually pounces out of the way of the hammer down. Hybrid is pinned against the wall. Chachi flashes insta-reply from Kikis into the puncturing taunt. And the javelins and autos and fangs and claws. Trick picks up a kill. 3 members of G2 to take him down.
In the end of all things, it is Kikis saying, "You're too slow." At that point, gets the knockback, and there's no way Chachi can get himself out of that one.
Trick, javelin toss. No, a little late. Good smite timing there from Loulex. And, you know, going back to that 1-3-1 point, double teleports on the side of UOL. They've got matchups that are doing very well. Fox is ahead, Chachi's ahead.
Oops.
They're using that to their advantage. Sonic Wave connected, it's interrupted as Loulex gets pinned back from the Emperor's Divide, and Perkz is down. Hylissang gets a full channel on the Monsoon. That keeps Steeelback alive. The Sun Disc is up, but it simply does not matter. Unicorns of Love find 2 kills. and stamp their authority on the game.
Oh man, maybe it's time to start shipping a Steeelback and Hylissang bromance because they just defended each other to the death there. Kick, an insect play. Here comes the engaged tool from Kikis though.
Oh, Kikis, instant monsoon! Hylissang stays alive. There was no flash available for Kikis to potentially answer, so TP is blown. Got that warrior enchant and a little bit of thrift shop. Wow, defensive flash. Emperor's afraid of Hylissang. Well, he's afraid of what could have been behind Hylissang, I think is the more likely reason. I think it's so important to actually note that we're now 25 minutes in, and yes, it's a 3,000 gold lead, but that's not massive. Two members of G2 are sent home as Vizicsacsi's verdict is nope. Not today. Two more re-enter the fray. Javelin toss just short as Chachi's able to waddle his way out of it. The Yordle is staying alive in the face of three members of G2. Hybrid's pinned against the wall and the rest of Unicorns trying to get some vision. Very importantly, that damage over time. These little sieges, these little chips away.
G2 have done a good job of this. So this was the kill we actually just didn't see. Okay. Fairly straightforward. As Hylissang dies to Emperor in the middle lane, to be expected.
Can't monsoon the culling.
I thought that was going to rhyme.
You don't have to look so disappointed. I know.
I thought it was going to like be like a Daylor thing. Monsoon, don't monsoon, you lose your room. Something like that. That's a bit cruel.
That is, I think, one of my favorite things to come out of the spring split. All of the Daylor says quotes. And G2 at risk of being surrounded. No, that's a Janna in the mid lane. That's not who you want to flank with. Hilly was just pulling the wave. Unfortunately, it didn't help. But look at this. It's trading inner turrets for inhibitor turrets. This is getting weird. It will be, and it's going to be reliant on Perkz finding those sand soldiers. Loulex waiting in the wings, but it's Perkz who fires the trigger first. Flash monsoon from Hylissang, he stays alive. I'm running out of words, it's happening so quick. A flash forward into the taunts, but Emperor is traded. Goes golden as Fox has taken down the AD carry. Keeper's verdict from Vizicsacsi will buy time. Perkz will get taken down as a pounce forward, as well as the swipe from Trick. A 1 for 2. Now Chachi's left alone in the between three members of G2 before Steeelback jumps back in, but in a 3-on-1, Steeelback almost manages to get taken down. Trick found the javelin. Perkz is forced to run away. It's a 2 for 2.
Oh, the spell shield did not block the spear at that point. Steeelback, a little bit of a misread, or maybe something else connecting just before the spear that absorbed the spell shield. So G2 right now, I mean, from that trade, G2 at least didn't lose too much from that.
All of a sudden, G2 cannot recall.
And that's going to be an inhibitor going down for Fox.
G2 opted into this. They were pushing mid lane.
But can he push it in and TP out? He's going to have to burn it if he wants to get out.
Teleport.
Oh, no, he's not.
No, self-cast. Fox will be going down, taking time for the cost of Fox's life and his teleport. They get an inhibitor in the top lane. This is the Unicorns, and they manage to secure an inner turret down bottom.
They know they've got decent clear with the Azir. Here comes the TP. Fox is still down, 30 seconds, no TP.
It's so important to remember that Fox is going to take a long time to get in. It's secured by G2, but the impending fight breaks out. Loulex is down. Emperor's dashed over the wall, gets a full culling, turns his attention to Steeelback, will dash away before Steeelback trades his life. 1 for 1 in the AD carry bout, but 4 members of Unicorns have lost their lives in the last few minutes, and it is an ace that started with Fox in G2's base.
Is that the call that keeps G2 in the #1 position here at the end of the regular split?
If it results in them knocking over the Nexus, the answer will be yes. Super minions in the middle lane. Kikis' deal with supers up top. G2, in the first minute of their Baron power play, have accrued 4,000 gold more.
Could actually be Unicorns getting boxed in. TP's coming out.
Zoom is what Kikis is yelling. Powerballs forward, finds Loulex, decides to hold the taunt. There's a gigantic minion wave pushing in to this inhibitor turret. Chachi has been dropped to about 50% HP, and Loulex is forced to run all the way to the middle lane. The bottom inhibitor will be falling, and despite G2 being behind for 32 minutes, in 3, they turn it all around, destroy UOL's base, and are now the ones in control.
The problem is, they're realistically, from this angle, they shouldn't be able to get a good fight. In they go!
They do indeed.
Oh, the
Fox
taunt.
is gone. The taunt was instantaneous, and with no tomb, Unicorns are not likely to win. Emperor's Divide sends UOL back to the base. G2 speed up the process. A boot back as Azir and Trundle are sent into Loulex's hand. Vizicsacsi donates G2 another kill. 4 members of the Unicorns of Love are down, waiting for the minions, and G2 are mere seconds away from a first place seed.
The come from behind win, all based off that instinct Baron call from G2, and they have looked so much better in this last couple of minutes than they did the entire game.
G2 Esports knock over Nexus turret number 1, number 2, and will turn their attention to Chachi. Pad the stats, get the kills. Chachi's buying as much time as possible. The Nexus is dropping, and with it being killed, G2 Esports are the best team in Europe.